Good morning, El Paso Weekend.
Good morning and thanks for joining us on this Saturday morning. I'm Josie Ortegon. A very chilly start to your day. Let's get your first forecast with Storm Tracker Dan Martinez. Hi Dan, good morning.
Good morning. We have seen a pretty darn cold morning out this morning. We were looking at things in the teens with the wind chill factors in some portions of our area. Right now, though, things are slowly progressing as we go out right now. 31 degrees in El Paso, calm winds, those skies partly cloudy as you see right there. And taking a look at our new weather bug system, you see here 30 degrees right now at the KVIA studios is what it feels like. 32 at Dr. Renato Middle School, North Star Elementary. Feeling like 35 degrees there as of right now. And taking a look officially, calm winds, as I mentioned, in the El Paso area. Las Cruces, 23 is what we're feeling right now. And the rest of our day going to remain cold even at around 9 o'clock in about an hour. We're only going to be seeing temperatures warm, if anything, to about 36 degrees. And then by noon, we'll see those breezes kick up a little bit, and we'll slowly start to see those winds progress as we go through the later part of the day. I'll give you the exact numbers on what you can expect coming up in just a little bit. Josie, back over to you.
Okay, thanks, Dan. The Homeland Security Department will not shut down, at least for another week. The House was able to pass a last-minute stopgap funding bill just hours before a midnight deadline. The measure now goes to President Obama for his signature. Democrats joined Republicans in backing the bill. Some of the most conservative Republicans are against a bill to fund Homeland Security until the end of the fiscal year because the bill fails to block President Obama's executive actions to protect millions of illegal immigrants from deportation. The one-week extension will buy them more time to fight President Obama on immigration. It wasn't what the Democrats and the White House wanted, but they had to play ball.
Mayor, governor, police chief, sheriff and police commissioner, fire chief, and emergency manager should be concerned about this.
Now, if we revisit this scenario again next week, this is what could happen. A partial shutdown of the Homeland Security Department means up to 30,000 non-essential employees would be furloughed. The employees affected are involved in planning, auditing, and training. Those who would keep on working despite a partial shutdown include Border Patrol agents, airport security agents, the Secret Service, customs officers, and ICE agents. And El Paso Children's Hospital has hired Mark Herbers as the new CEO. He has 25 years of experience in the healthcare industry, including work as a chief financial officer for both nonprofit and for-profit hospitals. Herbers will be taking over a $91 million debt with the University Medical Center. Now, his hiring comes as Children's deadline to accept UMC's terms to manage that debt expired. University Medical Center Board Chair William Hansen said in a statement, quote, UMC has provided services that Children's abruptly stopped paying for but continued to utilize. As of March 25th, UMC will cease providing certain non-clinical services, end quote. Now, our attempts to reach Children's Hospital's board chair Rosemary Castillo were unsuccessful. Castillo has said previously the board had discussed possibly seeking bankruptcy protection. Now, a mother of a teenage chemotherapy patient at Children's Hospital tells us she's concerned the hospital could be forced to close its doors.
We really need the hospital here. I mean, there have been so many times when people have had to leave town, and the hospital's been great. I mean, the services here are wonderful, the people are great, and we just don't want anything to stop.
I'd rather stay here because my dad's here, my friends, my mom. It's easier than going out of town because we wouldn't be able to be here with my family.
If it goes bankrupt, I mean, that could change. So does that concern you?
Yeah, because I really don't want to have to go out of town, but if we do, then we have to, and my mom's not going to be able to work.
And in a fact sheet sent to ABC7, University Medical Center states the debt accumulated by El Paso Children's Hospital is not in dispute, and any reports the debt is being disputed are either wrong or misleading. Now, according to the fact sheet, both UMC and Children's have certified in signed documents the debt accumulated through September 2014 is $81.3 million. UMC says the debt was reported to auditors and has since continued to accumulate to more than $91 million. Global agency Fitch Ratings says there is the strong possibility of a negative rating change for several El Paso County Hospital District bonds. The district oversees University Medical Center. Fitch Ratings has two main concerns. One, the uncertainty over El Paso Children's Hospital debt, and two, recent public announcements from El Paso Children's regarding possible bankruptcy protection to avoid a takeover by UMC. Fitch Ratings says this highlights a lack of ability to resolve organizational differences. In August of 2014, Fitch downgraded the hospital's district's rating from a AA to a AA-, Again, there is a possibility the rating could be downgraded again, this time from AA- to single A+. A low rating will make it harder for the county hospital district to issue bonds in the future. And moving on, the El Paso City Council election is just months away, and at least a dozen candidates are hopeful they'll be picked to do the job, according to the El Paso Times. Candidates include 3 incumbents, Courtney Nyland, Claudia Ordaz, and Dr. Michael No, who are again running for their seats. The paper reports 6 people are fighting to replace City Rep Ann Morgan Lilly, who is termed out. Hopefuls include Richard Bonnard, Bertha Gallardo, Manuel Hinojosa, Daniel Lopez Jr., Peter Sarbines, and Albert Weisenberger. The election will be May 9th. And new this morning, a measure that would ban late-term abortions in New Mexico is on its way to the House floor for consideration. The House Judiciary Committee advanced the measure Friday by a 7-6 vote. The bill would allow exceptions if the procedure were necessary in the health of the woman or if the pregnancy resulted from sexual abuse, rape, or incest. Opposers say legislators have to stand up for unborn children. Supporters say the bill is designed to bring New Mexico in line with 42 other states. And in other news, a Senate-approved proposal to ban coyote killing contests in New Mexico has stalled in the State House. That chamber's Agriculture, Water, and Wildlife Committee voted to kill the proposal yesterday. Now, this past December, our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom recorded this video of nearly 40 slain coyotes. A man found them skinned and left to rot in a desert area just west of the Las Cruces airport. Critics of the proposal to ban the contest say rural landowners and ranchers have a right to control coyote populations. Kevin Bixby disagrees. ABC7 spoke with the executive director of the Southwest Environmental Center last year. He said the coyotes seen in this video were likely killed during a contest.
Are a waste. They promote an attitude of disrespect for life. It's basically people that like to kill living things using animals as live targets. It has nothing to do with ethical hunting. The coyotes aren't eaten. In most cases, the fur is not taken.
And animal rights advocates are vowing to continue to push for a ban. Hunting organizations say hunters pour hundreds of thousands of dollars a year back into habitat management with the purchase of licenses and permits. They also say they contribute millions into the local economy when they buy hunting and camping supplies, and also by staying and eating at local hotels and restaurants. And New Mexico State Police have released the names of 5 officers involved in the fatal shooting of a fugitive last weekend near Ruidoso, all veterans who have been with the force for more than 5 years. The U.S. Marshals Service says 41-year-old Jason Carter had an outstanding warrant out of Texas for sexual contact with a minor. He was found last Friday on State Road 37 outside of Ruidoso and barricaded himself inside his RV. Authorities say despite hours of negotiations, he told officers that he wouldn't surrender. They say Carter threatened officers with a firearm. He was shot. Carter was pronounced dead at the scene. Police say the officers involved were 12-year veteran Michael Williams, 8-year veteran Shane Todd, and 5-year veterans Justin Cabrera, Nicholas Levine, and Michael Mariscal. And the superintendent of Las Cruces Public Schools is warning students do not walk out on Monday. There could be some consequences later down the road. Some parents and students tell our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom they're fed up with the classroom practice of teaching to the test. Their frustration is mostly aimed at the park, a new state-mandated test. Monday's walkout would coincide with the first day of testing. Superintendent Sandra Rounds says students who fail to pass the test will not graduate, and they only get 3 tries at the exam.
Frustration here is the high-stakes nature of the testing. I think there's also, and we've had this discussion for the last several years, as we've tried to deal with how we reduce the impact of testing.
I just feel like it's putting unnecessary pressure on students at all 3 levels, you know, elementary, middle, and high school, to pass a test when really it's not an accurate assessment of what is being taught in our schools or of our students.
The district says there will be disciplinary action against students who choose to walk out. Still ahead on ABC7's Good Morning El Paso weekend, frustrated passengers at one Texas airport after numerous delays and cancellations. We'll show you where coming up. And later, a thief is preventing one NASCAR driver from racing this weekend. We'll tell you why. Time now is 8:10. Let's take a live look at traffic this morning. We haven't heard of anything major on the roads just yet, so if you have any Saturday morning plans, think you're good to go in terms of traffic, but in terms of weather, it's going to be a windy day out, right, Dan?
Yeah, some areas will definitely be breezy into the windy category. Nonetheless, we have those clouds this morning making for a cold one. We're going to be talking about those winds coming up next.
You're watching ABC 7, where news comes first. Welcome back. Time now is 8:12. Snow in North Texas means hundreds of flights in and out of Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport are canceled or delayed. Reporter Demon Fernandez spoke with some of those passengers who are wondering when they'll get to their final destination. Take a look.
From the long faces to the long lines.
Extremely frustrating.
This chaos was just part of the weather-related reality at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport Friday night. Tension among some travelers was pretty thick in Terminal D, as hundreds of flights were canceled here due to snow.
Stuck on the tarmac for 3 hours. Told that we had to get the plane de-iced, that we were in line to get ready to do it. It was going to take 20 minutes. We became plane number 7, plane number 10.
Katie Caceres trying to get to California. She says passengers on her American Airlines flight were asked to leave the plane and head back to the ticket counter for another 4-hour wait.
Well, now where are we going to go?
Many travelers stayed busy trying to rebook flights, while airline crews de-iced planes and firefighters cleared ice and snow from the airport's roof. Meantime, more problems on the tarmac. American Airlines Flight 382 passenger Brandon Sullivan went to Twitter. He complained passengers were stuck on his plane at DFW Airport for 7.5 hours. Even posted photos of people getting sick and passengers helping themselves to drinks. Back in Terminal D, we spotted Graham Hazelhurst. He said he wasn't prepared for the cancellations, putting a dent in his trip across the world.
It's a bit upsetting. I mean, I've come all the way from Germany, but when it comes down to it, it's the snow. You can't tell the snow what to do, can you?
It didn't take long for many travelers to realize they'd be preparing for a stressful night in Terminal D. Airport staff offered up cots and pillows, knowing airlines could announce more cancellations into Saturday morning. For now, it's the waiting game in Terminal D, as many of these travelers wonder when they'll finally board a flight.
I'm just going to try and keep an even keel and keep relaxed about it.
On this reporting, that does not sound pleasant at all.
At all. I feel bad for anybody that was traveling during the bad weather. And I mean, if there was anything we could have done better, there really isn't, though. Mother Nature is just unpredictable sometimes.
Yeah.
Even with a 7-day forecast nowadays, people still get caught off guard. That's why it's important for people to pay attention, right?
Yeah, exactly. And hey, Dan, we have just a reminder or just an alert for you. Carlsbad Caverns is on a 2-hour delay due to icy conditions, so be careful if you are in that area. Speaking
Good
of,
to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the national park's having to take the precautions for the winter weather that they're seeing.
Exactly.
I'll show you that in just a second. Right now, first I want to show you what conditions look like out your doorstep right now. If you're headed out right now in El Paso, we're still below freezing officially. 31 degrees, 27 for Alamogordo, 34 for TRC, 32 right at freezing for Silver City, 29 degrees Deming and 14 degrees Ruidoso. Still watching you guys. You've had a rough go of it the last 12 hours or so. Yesterday night we were looking at temperatures right around 9 degrees or something around that ballpark. Right now, Tomley Elementary School, taking a look, and you see the very nice cloud coverage right above the mountains. On the west side of town, though, we have the clouds hanging pretty low on the western slopes of the mountains. Feeling like 23 degrees right now, Las Cruces. 27 everywhere else. We're practically okay. Feeling like 21 for Deming right now. Yesterday, our high temperature, we only hit 46 yesterday. It was very cold throughout the day yesterday. Notice Ruidoso, 19 was a high temperature there. 50 degrees for TRC in Silver City. But our winds, that's the thing that we've also been talking about, because yesterday, not only did we only hit a high in the 40s, it felt a lot colder because of the winds that kept just blowing all day long. 12 miles per hour now in Las Cruces, 3 in the El Paso area. And taking a look at the entire weather picture here across the nation, you noticed we have 4 degrees for Chicago and for Minneapolis right now. Everybody pretty much just seeing those cold conditions right now. Dallas, 28 degrees. As we mentioned, they've had a rough go of it because of that snow that they continue to see. And right through the middle of the country, this latest frame here kind of shows you where all the moisture's kind of wedged in between. We've got the snow over to the north of the Dallas area, kind of meeting up with some other snow moving through the Oklahoma area. And then notice here for Albuquerque, more of that snow just continues to fall. I have to check the latest totals, but I believe their forecast last time I checked was 1 to 3 inches or so. Back here in El Paso, we have the Black History Parade going on today. Notice at 10 o'clock this morning, 47 degrees is what we're going with mostly sunny skies, 55 by noon, 63 at 2, and then by 4 we'll be looking at 64 degrees. And tomorrow we have Race for the Cure going on. 48 degrees will be the temperature at 7 o'clock in the morning, not including the wind chill factor though. So keep that in mind if you're participating in the race. Now here's our windcast for the day today. 35 mile per hour peak wind gust for some areas. Variable winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. All this will be happening anytime between 1 and 8 o'clock. And notice for the next few days will be windy. We'll just go down to breezy on Thursday and a Friday. Things will finally start to taper on off. Our future track computer model shows you the moisture over through portions of Arizona mostly for the most part through Sunday. Once we start talking about your Monday, notice overnight and through the morning on Monday, we start tracking a cold front moving in, and then by Tuesday, our rain chances go up to about a 30% chance on Tuesday. We'll be watching that closely though. In the meantime, your forecast for the day today, 43 degrees Ruidoso, possible rain snow mix going on for them. 58 degrees Alamogordo. Tonight, though, we'll be looking at temperatures in the 30s for the higher elevations, 43 degrees for Alamogordo, and 44 for Tier C. El Paso, our forecast 67 degrees, 46 for tonight. Las Cruces 64 today, and 41 for tonight. Let's talk about that 7-day forecast. So we're watching this again. Some areas will see either breezy or windy conditions today. Windy conditions for tomorrow, definitely. 73 will be our high tomorrow. We'll finally warm up into the 70s, but we'll quickly start to cool things down. Notice by Thursday, a high of only 50 degrees. We'll be watching that for you in that rain chance on Tuesday. We'll be back with sports after the break.